just leave a comment. So I'm working on a kind of a tree army build. I haven't really gotten too many good games, so I took a break and I decided to go with the spider realm. So there's a little forward. And you can see that my opponent went for a Vanguard beastmen army. So let's go over the army because it's about to pop off. So I got the Arachnoid Queen flanked by 2 Arachnoid spiders with 2 goblin big bosses, and they're just there just to kind of absorb the charges and then hold units in position while the spiders go in. Over here, I got my little scurry squad, and the little scurry squad here is just 3 units of goblin spider riders and a goblin big boss. And over here, you have really, and not the spot he wants to be, is the goblin great shaman. And he is right behind the Lord of Ungor. And then over here, I have 3 units of spider rider archers and the death creepers. Now, if you look right here, you'll notice that they are really close to the centaurs. So my opponent has poison warhounds, and centaurs. Back here, he has the minotaurs, the chaos spawn of not Doombull, a Gorbel, Malgor the Dark Omen, and he has a couple Ungor raiders and just a big old fat line of Gorhers and then some harpies. So let's go ahead and hit play. And you can see we're both kind of confused, and immediately my guys start firing. So I just grab and I start telling them to move, and I just grab the Great Shaman and I just start running. Meanwhile, over here, he sees the spiders, so he starts pulling everything over to engage on the spider riders. So you can see they're getting down and dirty in here. Oops. So they're getting down and dirty, but luckily what's going to happen is I'm having basically 6,000 points of resources, and they're just going to tumble down. And I'm using the spider hatchlings just to kind of hold off his line while I get my work done. Meanwhile, over here, I got all the little spider riders just coming in, picking off the weak, as I see his little arrows. And then he's over here, and he's trying to catch my goblin with my force. What is it? Spider rider archers. Well, you can see that since they're poisoning everything, the 63 of movement, 56 movement, everything they have is just being reduced in movements. And because I have Strider, I can run through the trees faster. So I'm just letting him be kited as I run through the trees. My lord, where did he go? He's also over here running for his life. So now we got kind of the cluster mess. And you know what I was surprised about is these spider riders are actually kind of tearing up these harpies. These harpies want nothing to do with these spider riders. I honestly thought the harpies would have done better, but I guess with their poison they really dropped them down. They don't have the highest defense, so I'm able to kind of push over here. And because he focused everything over here and just left this line instead of trying to redraw his battle line, he's just getting beaten up. So now he realizes chasing these goblins is just the wrong idea, so he's going to take his line, he reforms, and starts sending everything after the Arachnoid spiders. What I think he should have done is left 1 unit of just regular gores just to kind of pin down my big units, and then taking the rest and just try to pick off anything else I had. So now, oh, my sound is acting up again, so let's go ahead and drop that down. Alright. So now what he's doing is he's just kind of rallying his forces all around, and what I'm doing is exactly what I wanted his big boss for, was just to pin him down and then take what units I had to cycle charge. Now, however, all my spider riders have been routed off, so there's no real cycle charging. I'm just holding up all his resources because really he needed that poison on these spider queens. And one nice thing is everything in my army except for my general does cause poison because they're on spiders, and the only thing that's not on a spider is my general, because I have no spiders upon which to give. So you can see over here that the Chaos Spawn, yes, they have a high damage, but let's look at their damage. So they have, oh, that's a Ragnarok, Chaos Spawn. There we go. Oh, see if I can get it one more time before I give it up. All right, I'm just going to give it up. They have 120 damage per hit, which is pretty good, and they have a large mass, which will push through like lightly armored units. However, the downside to it is they only have like 20 AP. But the beastman does have the poison, so that's working out in their favor. But that low armor or low AP is just not going to get through the 150 and 150 of my big spiders. He has managed to rout off 1, but he's at half health, so he'll be able to come back and rally. Meanwhile, my goblin great shaman is just sitting on the bushes. I keep popping what is it, Itchy Nuisance, just to try to get him. I have a few other spells, but I'm mostly using Itchy Nuisance to wear him down. And so now what I'm doing is I'm trying to focus on the Minotaurs, and then I'm going to try to focus on the Gorbel. Meanwhile, he was over here. You can just see the litter remains of all my poor little goblin spider riders. But I do summon some hatchlings, start picking them away, and this is where he messes up, because the Centaurs only have 35 armor. Yeah, 35. And I'm just going to keep pulling away with these goblin spider riders. And I just put them on guard mode, so every time he connects, they don't pull into combat. And I'm just going to keep running away. And you can see just all the little litter corpses of the Centaurs as they get pushed off. Finally get my goblin big boss in there to hold him down while I shoot. And I'll be able to rally and come back. As he is throwing some big old fat rocks this way. And looks like he is able to get a spider or two. But that's okay. So meanwhile, back here, you can see that my plan is pretty much working. I've worked away in his Minotaurs. I haven't really been able to get a model yet because the Chaos Spawn keep getting in the way. But everything else is starting to rally, so all of these fodder units are stopping my spiders from getting to where they need to go. It's doing okay. And this does rally and come back, and he really doesn't have an answer for it. So what are these Warhounds going to do? Like, they're weapon strength 18 because they're being poisoned and their leadership's so low. And all of this causes terror. So they're all pushing away. I have managed to rally a little bit of my spider riders. I send them in here just to kind of hold down the Cygor just for a little bit, just so he will stop shooting. And he is summoned, so he's going to be falling apart. Meanwhile, the Goblin Big Boss comes in here, and he's just going to start working on these Minotaurs. While not super impressive, he'll be able to beat a Minotaur down. Over here, the Gorbel has decided to chase after these spider riders, but you can see that his speed is down to 56. Versus my speed of 60, even when I accidentally poisoned myself. So I'm just going to keep pulling away and pulling away. Because this Gorbel is one of the few things he has that can take down my Arachnarok spiders. Meanwhile, over here, he just has his archers, and he's had Malagor. I would like to get on Malagor, but I have nothing that can really reach him until I realize where he is. I spot him with the Goblin Big Boss, and then I'm just going to jump on him. Back over here, the Goblin Great Shaman is just kind of chasing routing units, make sure they get off the field. And I was able to rally all three spiders, and you can see that they've started to put a dumpster on the Minotaurs, and the Chaos Spawn has really nothing left to kind of push it. So he does stop the Goblin Big Boss with a little Harpy Swarm, and there lies Pig Sticker, the Goblin King, or the Goblin Prince. Goblin King's still riding around. I do manage to get into these spears, shut them down. Not spears, bows. And once again, like you can see that this is really starting to whittle away at the Gorbel. He's just been walking after these 4 Goblin Spider Riders. He'll never really catch, and then he's already at half. So that's the end of the replay. My opponent just gives up once he realizes he has no real AP left. Let's take a break down the list. You can honestly, I just went for a theme here, but a decent performance out of the Spider Riders. Nothing. I mean, they're only 400, 450, and then you can see that the Spider Arachnaros did a great job. Just kind of pounding. Over here, Jin, interesting build. Maybe he's trying to catch me off guard, but the only problem I have with his list, he has no real way of stopping, say, Black Orcs other than the one group of Minotaurs. What I would have liked to see is drop the Chaos Spawn, drop 2 units of Gorehers, maybe throw in 2 Bestigors, and that would have been everything he needed. I think he would have been able to pull through. But other than that, thanks for my opponent. Sorry.